We've got an opportunity here with this documentary, and it feels like we're really, well, we are blessed to have you guys connected with it because you're an amazing focus group for us. My question is, are you guys interested in being involved in this? You are by nature by being with PDC, but I think it's really important that it's not, and believe it or not, I'm an old guy now, a bunch of old guys making a film about your generation. It's a little tough, you know. What's the feeling around the room about what we're doing in the first place, and do you guys see a role in what we're doing?
A lot of us get pinned as being lazy and people who aren't interested in tackling social problems, that we're caught up in our own worlds, in our own vanity. And in my life, I've just seen that as not true, but a lot of people our age get told that so much that they start to believe it, and they start to believe they are selfish, and anything they try to do in their life isn't going to benefit other people, so they don't try. And I think it's important to tell not only older generations that we're not lazy and we are interested in doing things for others, but to tell our own peers that you don't have to fall victim to that stereotype.
One thing that you hear as a negative attribute a lot of times with millennials, people talk about a sense of entitlement. So it's like, you know, people say, well, some of these younger people, they show up for work and it's like, hey, I came on time. Where's my promotion? Why aren't I running this place? You know, like just a sense that I've been used to, and people would theorize that perhaps I've been used to being just kind of given things as a child, you know, like I just, you know, like back, even the way things have changed, like kids that get medals for, you know, it used to be you had to win a race to get a medal. Now you just get a medal no matter what, if you win or not. So, you know, we're used to just getting the prizes for not actually having earned them. So then we show up for work and we just expect, you know, to get stuff and all that. But I think that, so there could be this perception of a fussiness. But I think that there's a good aspect of a fussiness in that not wanting to just, you know, hey, I'm just going to do this thing. I actually want to change something here. I want to not be satisfied with the way the world is. I want to, you know, that.
I think sometimes a sense of entitlement can be seen as negative, but it pushes, I think, the boundaries a little bit. If someone's not satisfied with what they have and they think they're entitled to more, it might drive them to get more. It might drive them to do more. It might drive them into a place where they can get that promotion, where they can make that change. So I think that's important to start with that confidence first and then push it forward.
When we were on the bus, we talked about this a little bit, the difference between the word entitlement and empowerment. Does anybody have any thoughts on that? Because you know, your generation has been labeled as self-entitled. What I was seeing is, no, I think this generation is self-empowered. Your generation has the belief in itself that you can make change, hence why people confuse it with self-entitlement.
I think that key difference between self-empowered and self-entitled kind of comes off as like you'd be fussy and stubborn, like by hearing no, they're like, oh, whatever. But self-empowered means like, okay, I can take that criticism and I'm going to figure out how to change it. So it's that difference between being like fussy and stubborn and not wanting to listen versus like wanting to listen and seeing how all of that the criticism coming back can be changed into something great.
You guys are probably some of the luckier ones in terms of your, you know, maybe the situation that you're in, and there's probably maybe in a generation wise, you're the most educated generation. It's on-demand generation. So if I want to learn about how to be a great guitar player, I literally can go to YouTube and Google tons of sites, and you have all kinds of guitar tabs, and in a year, if I focused on it, I could become an amazing guitar player. I could do that. And in fact, I saw my son do that. I mean, for the most part, he's an amazing guitar player, and it's all based on YouTube. I want to do this, I want to learn this song, and like an hour or 2 hours later, he's learned that song. I couldn't have done that as easily back when my generation, because you just didn't have access to that. You had to go to the library, you had to kind of dig around, it was old stuff, but you wanted to learn the current stuff, and you had to kind of pick away, and it took a long time. So I agree. The speed at which you can do, it's kind of like the world's your oyster, you can do whatever you want. So now it's literally the only thing stopping you is your focus, maybe. You know, I want to focus on this, and if I focus on this and it's my passion, I literally can crush it and be really good at it if I want to. There's really no barriers because information is just everywhere.
I think that New Brunswick is unique because we've got a good size. We've got this availability where networking can happen on a very comfortable level, and people are more accessible to you in New Brunswick. And I think that's something that's really key about here rather than other places. You are literally probably only 2 steps away from anyone that you want to meet in New Brunswick who can make an impact on your idea as an innovator. So I think that's very key here.
Kind of learned the importance of networking over the past couple months, because going from our top talent, I got someone's email and I emailed her and she met with me, and then she gave me 3 more people's emails, and I've met with one of those people and they've given me more people's emails, and I literally just email them. Like, I met with someone in government yesterday and I just sent her an email and she answered, and I met her less than a week later. And I think kind of getting students to understand the importance of meeting people and when they're looking for jobs, not just looking on Job Bank, is, I think, a very important skill that students really need to focus on.
It is, like you said, you get to know the person. It's like, oh, you should meet so-and-so. And it's like, it's the advantage that you talked about, or you guys talked about. It's like 1 degree of separation or 2 degrees. Those opportunities, like you mentioned earlier, they don't always necessarily, there's not as many of them, like a big bucket of them. But I think once you're connected in, you can find ones that are really, really kind of hopefully tightly integrated to what you want to do. And I'm not going to just throw anything at them. I'm going to be thinking about it and say, wow, you really need to talk to so-and-so. And I've connected a couple of them up and said, this person's amazing, hire this person. You know what I mean? Like, if you can, or if I can, if something comes up, right? If we can do it here in kind of like the smaller markets, we can do it anywhere. We can scale it up. So if you can make a business case work in this environment, it can work in anything bigger than us, because most of it is bigger than us, right? And so that's the powerful thing. It only gets better after that. And so ideas that get started here, because of this stuff we talked about, the network, the finding the right people, and getting the mentorship and the learning and all that stuff, you can do it here. You can then build it, scale it out, export it, and take it to the world. If it's all about how do we turn New Brunswick from maybe currently one of the greater exporters of millennials to one of the greatest importers of millennials, right? Think about it. Every person, percentage-wise, that stays or comes and wants to be part of this is a bigger percentage increase because we're a smaller province. If you add 700,000 people to Ontario, it's like a small little percentage, right? You add 700,000 people to New Brunswick, that's 100% growth. Right? So every person that stays, that's why it's so important to connect with people, because every person counts. Every single one of you counts. And if all of us had then talk to people and we are part of that, and we have that same view, and then everyone they talk to, if they get pumped about it, talk to them, pretty soon it's like, it has a big impact. The spread, talk about the viral effect. It doesn't take that many generations. Think about it, right? 1 + 1, 2, you know what I mean? Double, 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 double. We reached that point of spreading an idea faster than any other place because we're smaller. And we can grow and have a higher percentage of growth because we're smaller.